After I graduated from high school, every year there was the dorms, and there was the house on Poplar, and then there was a house on Bethany Home. I would just move every year when the lease was up. It's very transient. The place I'm living in now is the first place since I turned 18 that I've lived in for more than a year. It's nice-ish. It's an old house that was, I think, built in the 1880s. To put that in perspective, Oscar Wilde was still alive, the Elephant Man was still alive, and cocaine was still an ingredient in Coca-Cola. And people are like, no, I'd like to find coca leaf extract. It's the same thing. It's an old house. And I live in an apartment on the top. And there's this grand tradition that humanity has had for some time, that old and stately houses always get nicknames. Or not even, like Ulysses S. Grant lived at Hardscrabble, Mark Twain lived at Stormfield? Stormfield. I know we all read Wuthering Heights, and in Wuthering Heights there's also Thrushcross Grange. So someone wooed Wuthering Heights. It's great. So I live at Bitterbelow Hollow. Now if you ask me why I say I call it Bitterbelow Hollow, it's because it's in a little valley, a little hollow, and when the wind comes through at just the right speed and in the right direction, the house moves a little bit, because it's old, and it's cheap living. But that's not the real reason I call it Bitterbelow Hollow. I had been there for about 2 weeks, and I hadn't done anything over the weekend. I was up bright and early on Sunday, so I thought I'd do laundry. Because at that point, I guess, by that point in my life, I'd become everything I hated when I was young. I'm like, I'm up early on Sunday, let's do laundry. Which I suppose is better than locking yourself out of the house. And, there's an indoor staircase, and the laundry room's in the basement. So, I have to walk down and walk back up, wait an hour for the wash to go through. And then I head back down because I got to move it over to the dryer. And the guy on the first floor, now, when I mention this guy to people now, they're like, oh, him? The guy that looks like a homeless guy? Excuse me, sorry. They're like, yeah, that guy. He's a little creepy. So he kind of like, as I'm heading down, he cracked his door and peeked out, and I was just like, hi. Because I didn't really meet the neighbors, because they're creepy. And on the way up through the staircase, he had just come out to start talking. Which is fine, I'm going to have to meet him sooner or later. It's just that I wish he was wearing pants. I don't remember what he said, because he was standing right about here. I'm sure that just the staticky white noise coming from him, while I'm staring at a point in space about here, attempting with all my might to astrally project anywhere else in the universe. Didn't really look down here, but I have decent peripheral vision. And I got an impression that I'd never seen a truck carrying potatoes crash into a truck carrying hair. But I imagine that if I were to see that out of the corner of my eye, it would be the exact same thing. Eventually, the conversation ends. Go back upstairs. Shower, just because I felt like I needed a shower. And I'm hanging around, and then, that's not it. About half an hour after I come back there, I'm like, oh, please don't be. I open the door, and it's Pooh Bear. Wait, no, not Pooh Bear, because he didn't wear pants, but he's cute, so we'll go with Donald Duck. So this guy who was Donald Ducking all over the place earlier is there. Not Donald Duck. He's got pants. Bonus. And he's like, hey, I wanted to apologize if I made you feel uncomfortable earlier. I was like, yeah, thank you. I did feel uncomfortable. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. So, would you say you're gay, straight, bi? Straight? Would you, considering maybe sometime letting me go down on you? No. At this point, people would say, like, why didn't you ask how much? Oh, wait, because then he said, sorry, because then he said, even if I paid you. And to which I also said no, but then people were like, why didn't you ask how much? Everyone has a price, and yes, I'm sure I have a price, and I'm sure it's gone down since that day. But he's living in the same place I am, so he can't afford it. And I said, like, no. And then I think there was small talk at that point again. I think I had hysterical blindness. I assume he laughed or something. And then, so that was my welcome to the house, and that's also the real reason I call it Bitter Blue Hollow.